Hello, everyone. I'm going to go over some basic um, Rhino navigation commands. So if you just open up this Rhino file, it's called Introduction, Navigation, and Selection. When you open it up, it should look like this. If you're on a PC, if you're on a Mac, it should still look the same, but um, the Mac Rhino looks slightly different. It'll look something like this. And just to go over the basic navigation and selection, I want to make sure that I'm just in the perspective mode. So I'm going to double click on the word perspective over here just to maximize that view. And it works the same way on a Mac. So if I just double click on the word perspective, and it just maximizes that view. If I double click it again, I go back to the 4 views. I'm going to be primarily sticking on the PC side of this. And I want a slightly different view of this. So right now I'm looking at it in wireframe. If I right click on the word perspective, I can go into shaded mode. There's also other different modes if you want to try rendered, ghosted, x-ray. But for now, I'm going to stay in shaded mode. It works the same way on the Mac version. I can go over here, I can go to shaded, rendered, ghosted, and all the others. So just to move around, and I'm going to use something called the orbit command. The shortcut is using the right mouse button. So if I just click and hold down the right mouse button, I can see different views of this. So it's essentially just moving the camera around just to get a different view of this. The icon for this is right here, this icon. So I can just click that icon and click and hold down the left mouse button. But it's just much easier to use the shortcut of just using the right mouse button. You use this command all the time, so it's just helpful to get used to the right mouse button. If you want to move around your object by using the hand tool, you have to hold down Shift plus the right mouse button. Which is what I'm doing right now. I'm just holding down Shift plus the right mouse button. And if I let go of Shift and just use the right mouse button, I'm back into the orbit. And the hand tool, again, it's right next to the orbit command. It's right here. But again, it's just easier to use the shortcut of Shift plus the right mouse button. And the zoom tool is just the scroll wheel on your mouse, just to zoom in and out. There's the zoom tool here, but again, it's just easier to use the scroll wheel on your mouse. Basic navigation in your orthogonal views or in your other views, like your top, front, and right view, you're really limited to 2 different ways of moving around. So I'm going to come over here, double click on the word perspective, double click on the word top. Here on the top, I'm going to right click on the word top and go to shaded. So here I'm just using the same zoom by using the scroll wheel, just zooming in and out. The hand tool, you don't have to use the Shift button. You just have to the right mouse button. It'll do the same thing. And to talk about selection, if I come over here to this object and if I'm in shaded mode, again, it's easier to be in shaded mode on this. And if I select any one of these objects just by doing a left mouse click, and I select another one, it automatically deselects the previous object, and it only allows you to select one object at a time. So if you want to select multiple objects at a time, you have to make sure to hold down the Shift key while clicking the left mouse button. So if I select one object, hold down the Shift key, it allows me to select multiple objects. And if I click anywhere on the screen, it just deselects everything. So if you want to deselect something, so subtract from, you either have to hold down the control if you're on a PC or the command key if you're on a Mac, plus the left mouse button. So let's try that. So I'm going to hold down Shift to select a couple objects. And on this side of the PC side, I'm going to hold down the control, and I'm able to deselect. Again, if you're on a Mac, I'm just going to hold down Shift to select a couple and hold down Command to deselect. And just to talk about the selection window. So if you're in this middle, if you click down with the left mouse button, and you move your mouse to the left, you'll see that it's a dashed line. And if you move your mouse to the right, you'll see that it is a solid line. So the difference between these two is whenever you see a dash line, you can select objects by using the dash line. And with the dash line, you only have to select a part of the object. So like here, I'm not selecting an entire object. I'm only selecting parts of an object. And as soon as I let go, it selects those objects because with the dash line, you only have to select a part of the object. If you see a solid line, and if you only select a part of the object, it will not select anything for you. Because when you see a solid line, you have to select the entire object. So in this case, I'm only going to select one object, and it's that purple one right in the middle, because that's the only one that it's surrounded by. So when you get used to the dash line versus the solid line, it's really helpful when making selections. It just takes a little bit getting used to.